yo. Look at my Marvel blanket. But anyway, this is my reaction rant to Legends of Tomorrow, Season 1, Episode 11, titled The Magnificent Eight. Me being a dodo, I was like trying to, pass time until it became 8 o'clock, which is the time it showed. And I got too into what I was doing to the point where I missed like 15 minutes of the episode, but this is what I caught so far in the 15 minutes that I missed, I got from others. So anyway, apparently the team travels to Salvation, Dakota in 1871, basically to hide out from the hunters. And while Rip is deciding the next move, the rest of the team goes into town, you know, like, browse around, let's see what's around here and all that stuff. And apparently the team gets into a bar fight, and in the middle of all that, the team ends up meeting Jonah Hex, which I thought was really cool, because we all know Jonah Hex. I mean, come on. He's, anyway. First appeared in All-Star Western number 10. And, his full name is Jonah Woodson Hex. Hey. Team affiliations are Apache and Navajo tribes, Confederate States of America military, United States Army, Kiowa tribes, 5 Warriors from Forever, and even the Black Lantern Corps, guys. Notable aliases, the Mark of the Demon. Nice, nice. Abilities are Outstanding Marksman, ability to quick draw, able to gun down multiple enemies in one draw, Peak Physical Conditioning, Expert Hand-to-Hand Combat, Master Tracker and Detective, honed a dangerous sense from years of training and experience. Everyone knows Jonah Hex. I mean, come on. Who does not know frickin' Jonah Hex? You gotta be like... You seriously gotta be living under a rock if you don't know who Jonah Hex is. But anyway, apparently Jonah Hex knows that the team are time travelers because he once fought alongside Rip Hunter in years past. And during that whole thing, Kendra ends up getting flashbacks of one of her previous lives and decides to go investigate it, and Sarah goes along with her. And while Kendra and Sarah go investigate Kendra's flashbacks, Ray and the rest of the team head back to town to defend it against this gang called the Stillwater Gang that's basically going into town and pretty much taking everything from them as payment for protection, you know, like, we're not gonna kill your people if you give us all your shit, right? Which kind of reminds me of The Walking Dead when it comes to the Saviors. You remember Walking Dead, the Saviors? They're kind of doing that with Hilltop. They go to Hilltop and like, just give us your shit and we won't hurt you, right? They're basically doing the same damn thing, which kind of sucks. I hate when you get these, it's kind of like bullies. Bullies come up to the smaller people. It's like, I won't hurt you, just give me all your lunch money. You know what I mean? But anyway, Kendra and Sarah follow Kendra's flashbacks, which end up also becoming visions to an old woman, not N. She's getting these flashbacks of an old woman, and it turns out that the old woman that she met this woman also in the bar, turns out to actually be herself. What I'm saying is, the old woman that they meet in a little cottage, little home far away from the town, turns out to be the Kendra of that time period. You know how she reincarnates. This is the Kendra of that timeline of 1871. And, old Kendra pretty much tells, the old lady pretty much tells Kendra about losing her own Carter, which in that timeline his name was Hannibal Hawks. She tells Kendra about when she lost Hannibal Hawks and warns Kendra, you know, not to love any other man besides, you know, Hawkman, otherwise it's just gonna end up in tragedy, because apparently that's what happened to her. Like, this old woman, old Kendra, tried to love other people after she lost her Hawkman, which is Hannibal Hawks. But every time she fell in love with someone else, it just ended up in tragedy, and, you know, she's trying to teach this new Kendra, you know, if you don't love your destined Hawkman, all other guys that you love is just gonna end up in tragedy, which kind of sucks, honestly. It's like, it pretty much forces Kendra to be like, you can't love anyone else but him. Even if he dies, you can't love anybody else, because it's just gonna end up in tragedy. It's like, well, that sucks. It's like prophesizing that she can't try to find happiness because her happiness is dead already, and it's like, that's kind of mean. Just because it happened to old Kendra, I don't think it's going to happen to current Kendra. I mean, come on now. Come on, old lady. Come on. But anyway, the team, they decide to protect this town from Stillwater, so they decide to go after the Stillwater gang and capture their leader, whose name is Jeb. But during the whole scuffle, unfortunately, Jackson is apprehended as they try to escape. And they decide to do a quick draw duel for Jackson's freedom. Originally, Ray was the one that volunteered, but Rip's like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the quick draw duel between me and Jeb for Jackson's life. And I thought it was a pretty cool Old Western style thing. I love the whole Old West thing, and it's like brought into this. Because it makes people these days appreciate it more, because, people these days don't really watch Old Westerns. You know what I mean? They're like, what's that? You know what I mean? They know about cowboys. They know that they're old as hell. Well, not really old as hell, but they go back ways back. But not many people of this timeline really appreciate the whole story behind cowboys and quick draw duels and all that stuff. They don't really appreciate it. So when they actually brought it here, mainly because they went back in time in Dakota 1871. So obviously there are cowboys there, and of course, Jonah Hex. But, I thought it was really cool that they brought this into the episode. I really like the fact that I was really hoping, when I heard about the whole Legends of Tomorrow and that they're time traveling and all that stuff, I was really hoping that at one point they would travel to the past to the point where they met Jonah Hex. Because Jonah Hex is a very well-known character in the DC Comics. Everyone knows who he is. He's a staple, you know what I mean? He's old school staple, which I love about Jonah Hex. Despite the grotesque face thing going on, he's a hero. I call him a very out there hero, but he's still a hero, right? But anyway, during the whole quick draw duel between Rip and Jeb, Rip ends up winning, which is cool. So Jackson's set free, but before the team could actually leave, leave 1871, unfortunately the hunters actually track them down to 1871 and start attacking them, and they have no choice but to use their future tech, their actual technology, because they did not want to use their future tech because, it's 1871. They didn't want to, cause all kinds of chaos during all that. But, since the hunters arrived and they're using their own future tech, they had no choice, so they end up in a battle. And the cool part was the fact that Rory was helping them. Mick Rory himself was helping them. He's no longer in his little cell. He's helping them out and stuff. And I probably, in my opinion, he's probably most likely helping them because he knows he's already a target too, because he failed in his mission as Kronos to take in the team. So, since he failed, the hunters are the ones that are being sent over to not only kill the team, but also to kill Rory, because he failed his mission, right? So that's probably the only reason why he's helping them. It's because he's a target now, too. But seeing him fight alongside them again is pretty cool to see. And the fact that they not only defeat the hunters, they did some other jobs that helped out, for instance, Stein, using a little bit of future tech, to save a boy who was, sick and most likely dying, and it turns out that the boy that he saved, his name is actually H.G. Wells. Come on! He saved H.G. Wells! If you guys don't know H.G. Wells, boo to you. But anyway, yeah, they defeated the hunters, but, one of the hunters, which Rory's the one that killed, before he died, he ended up telling Rory that, they have sent the Pilgrim to pretty much to hunt after them, and we learned that the Time Masters sent the Pilgrim to erase all the members of the team by going after their past selves. For instance, going after Rory when he's a little boy and stuff like that. Basically, they sent the ultimate assassin called the Pilgrim, and she's gonna go back in time to when each member of the team is at their most vulnerable and kill them off there so they don't exist in the present, right? So, for instance, in order to do that, you would, go back in time to when they were, kids. When they're, the most vulnerable, would be, if they're kids. When they're young and naive little kids, and erase them all there, and then, poof, they're gone in the present, right? So it's gonna be interesting seeing this because I saw the preview and we actually saw shit, what's his face? Captain Lance. We actually see Sarah when she's like hella young. She has like the bangs in her hairstyle. She has bangs and she's visiting her dad, obviously, in the police station. And you see young Captain Lance, which I think is cool. I think from the preview we also saw maybe what could be a young Rory, because you see like this little boy, this little Caucasian boy sitting down watching a building on fire.